right, what is going on, dads? Welcome back to the DadWise podcast. We're in the middle of a series, Dad's Guide to Pregnancy. I know last week I said we were going to talk about birthday today, but we're not. I forgot we have one more episode before that, or two more. We have one more next week that's talking about preparing for birthday, and then we'll get to the actual birthday. But today we are talking about books that you should read as a dad getting ready for birthday. Books are great. Books are a great way to start conversations with your wife, to be thinking about these topics, to learn the terminology that you need to learn, and to get just kind of on the same page and hear different people's perspectives. And it'll give you a great chance to kind of decide for yourself what you want to do. Because a couple podcasts ago, I talked about conversations to start with your wife while you're expecting a baby. And hearing different voices is going to be helpful in that conversation to decide what you want to do. So I have a handful of books that I've read, that I've enjoyed, and that I recommend. And so here we go. The first one, these are going to be different than probably what you expect, but A Dude Dad's Guide to Baby Size by Taylor Kalmus. He's the Dude Dad YouTuber, and it's a great book. It was very informative, short and sweet, kind of walks through the timeline of just all the different things to be thinking about throughout the pregnancy. So that's a great one to start early and kind of work through because he'll walk you through the changes that are going on in your wife's body, and he uses fun, different analogies and sizes, because most apps and books are going to tell you that your baby's the size of a grapefruit or a banana, and they just always use fruit for some reason, but he uses lug nuts and baseballs and, man stuff. So it's humorous, it's fun, informative, and it's right up my alley. The next one is The First 40 Days. So this is it's the essential art of nourishing the new mother. So this was written for moms, but dads are allowed to read it too. And it takes like ancient Chinese practices, medicine, wisdom, and brings it to us in the modern world. And it was very helpful for me thinking about the philosophy of the first 40 days. A lot of different cultures institute 30, 40, 50-day rest periods for mothers. You may be familiar with the Torah and the period of time that mothers are commanded to be given. They call it uncleanness, but there's other ways to think about that as more of a gift to mothers to spend some time alone with their baby, so they don't have to go out and do public things to do their service to God, to go out into the tribe. So 40 days of time given to mothers to recover, to connect with their babies, and to rebuild their strength. Because as a mom, when you give birth and throughout pregnancy, you are depleting your resources. It really is one of the most sacrificial acts that humanity still participates in. And so moms need to be recharged. And so she gives lists of foods and ways to take care of moms. The whole idea of Chinese medicine is to stay warm, and so they want you to wear hats and scarves and stay bundled up. Our baby's due in August, so I think we'll do just fine staying warm. But soups, broths, teas, warm liquids are kind of the staples to this. And the great part about this is that you can freeze jars of soup and then just warm them up right when you get home, because you'll want something right away to feed your wife, and cooking and making a bunch of noise is not going to be ideal. So getting a jar, dumping it in, and warming it up is a great way to go. Another book I just finished is The New Dad's Playbook by Benjamin Watson. He's a tight end, played for a lot of teams. The Patriots, I think he won a Super Bowl with them. But it was super good. I was a little skeptical. I was looking through lists of books for dads, and a lot of them just look really tacky and lame and dorky. So I was like, I'll try a football player's book and see how this goes. And it was right on. He talks about the whole process of birth, taking care of your wife. He talks about baby moons, taking some time off before the baby comes to spend some time with your wife. And he's got, I think he has 7 kids now. At the time of writing, he had 5, but then he had twins. And so the dude knows how to do pregnancy. He supported his wife through 7 of them. So it's a great book, good wisdom. He's obviously a professional football player, so he has more money than I do, and so he bought his wife like luxury maternity clothes and all this stuff. But great insight. He also talks about doing a baby shower, a co-ed baby shower, which is funny because I don't even ever think about doing a baby shower because my wife hates stuff like that, being the center of attention and getting a bunch of junk we don't need from people. She's doing like my wife is doing, having her friends come over and pray for her, like just like 2 or 3 of them. So she's on a different wavelength than baby shower parties. But if you want to play games where you put chocolate in diapers and guess which one it is, you can totally do that. Benjamin Watson will give you some ideas for that. Overall, a great book. Really enjoyed it. Jeremy Pryor's book, Family Revision. Awesome book. It's not just about having a baby. It's about being a father and family life and what to expect and how to plan towards that. This book has been a paradigm shift for me. I interviewed Jeremy a couple months ago, and it's great. Read it. That's the one book I would hand to a dad if he was like, what do I do? How do I be a dad? That's the one. Read that. The next one is What to Expect When You're Expecting, the all-in-one guide. This one's the classic when you think about books that you read when you're pregnant. It's like a textbook. There's tons of stuff in here. My wife had it. She doesn't read it anymore. We're on our 4th kid. So, but during our first couple, she would open it up to whatever week we're at, and it would tell us about how big the baby is and what's going on and what is normal in your body. Like a lot of stuff is just saying, oh, that's normal for you to feel weird and uncomfortable and all that. So that's a good one to look through together, kind of have it on hand. You don't want to read straight through it. My wife has been using apps now that kind of show the size of the baby and talk about different things. Those have been mostly for the kids to see, like, hey, this is how big baby brother is now, and this is what he had. He's got eyeballs growing and fingernails growing, and he is sucking in liquid and practicing swallowing and all these fun things. So that's a great book, or you can get some of the apps to talk about that. The last book I'm going to just plug is The 12 Rules for Dad Life. It's my book that I just wrote, so you can grab that. It's a great little primer on fatherhood, and it will point you in the right direction. It's got all sorts of different topics that are covered about leadership, establishing family values, disciplining your children, how to speak life into your children, dating your wife, how to simplify your life. Minimalism in parenting is hard to do because there's so much junk that everyone gives you. Talks about how to make a budget and think about finances. And talks about the role of the father in the household, the new father doing domestic duties, and then making an impact on the world. So there's 12 different chapters. They're each bite-sized and very readable, and I think it'll get you started on the right foot. So grab this one if you want to, and there should be an audio version coming out soon where I read it to you in my best narrator's voice. Those are all the books that I have for recommending. There's a ton, and I didn't want to give you more than you needed to read, so there you have it. I get the first 40 days for sure. The Dude's Dad Guide's baby size is fun, and it'd be a good gift for a dad who needs a book. Family Revision is going to be awesome for thinking about fatherhood and life after baby. Benjamin Watson's New Dad's Playbook is like Dad's Guide to Baby Size, but a little more football-y. And then What to Expect While You're Expecting is a great kind of resource book, textbook style. And 12 Rules for Dad Life is just all around best book I've ever read. So those are all of them. Next week, we're going to talk about how to prepare for baby day, and then we'll get to baby day. So thanks for watching, guys. If you are watched all the way to here, please like and leave a comment and review the podcast. It would be super helpful for me. And that is all I have for you today. Peace.